Rebecca Hope from Block News, and this is another episode of Meet the Makers. Today we have Hesham El Metainy from the company Treon, the CEO of Treon, based in Egypt. Thank you so much for joining us today, Hesham.
Thanks, Rebecca, for having me.
Yes, it's great to have you here and to be talking about your blockchain technology in the sphere of utility bills and paying for utility bills, which is a painful process every month. But we have to do it, and you seem to be trying to make that simpler and more cost-effective. Would you like to just explain to us a bit about Treon?
Sure. First, thank you very much for having me. And it is true. It's a big pain trying to pay for your utility bills every month. And it does vary from one market or from one country to another, the ease of doing that. Some advanced markets, of course, where you can have that direct debit from your credit card or your bank account, then there is no issue. In less developed markets, it's actually a pain where you have to go physically to a utility outlet and do a cash payment or sometimes even by credit card. What we are trying to do here is we're trying to, first of all, address the utility segment, which has not evolved very well in the past few years as much as other segments and other industries. So we're trying to bring the whole utilities segment into the blockchain. And how we're trying to do that is trying to use some of the technology that blockchain will help ease the pain and the process of doing settlements between different providers. For example, on the telecom side, there are a lot of transactions that are currently happening between telecom operators, like interconnect and roaming, for example, and it's a manual process. So our approach to that is that we want to introduce into the blockchain and move everything on the blockchain to offer fair transaction, timely and efficient approach to that. And at the same time, utilize our own currency, which is Treon, TXOs, our own tokens, as a settlement tool where we offer reduced transaction fees than what currently is out there in the market in terms of bank transactions or bank transfers, which will result directly in savings to individuals. So this is one side of it. Now the other side is for regular users. The easiest way is to use the mobile application. And if you look at the world today, how it's structured, around the world there are 5 billion mobile users between postpaid and prepaid, out of which you have like 3.8 billion unbanked, so they don't actually have any bank accounts.
Wow.
So what we're trying to do is to use through our app basically is to provide a tool by which customers can use this app to pay for their utility bills, whether it be electricity. Yeah, exactly. Either through fiat money, which is a standard thing, and you can just top up your account through any top-up voucher from any mobile operator around the world, which is an easy access, and then you can convert that money into paying any utility bill. Zap, done. It's an easy way. Or at the same time, cater for the crypto world, so people can use their cryptocurrency, our own cryptocurrency, and pay also their utility bills and convert from the app from one to another, those two words. So it's a way to bridge the gap and bring them together into that. That's simply the approach.
If I'm using my mobile phone to make these payments, is it easy? Do I have to download the app? Can I do it online? Just how easy is the process?
It's very easy. You download the app once on your smartphone. Everybody has smartphones now. Even if you don't have a smartphone, you can have a web interface, so you can actually exit from web interface. You download it once, you identify your utilities, again, one time, so who's your electricity provider, water and gas or telecom provider. You log on into those, and then from the app, any single time you want to check your usage so far or what kind of payment you have to pay so far, you just log into your app and then you see exactly how much you've consumed. Then there's no big surprise at the end of the month where you see, for example, that your electricity bill has soared or your water bill has soared or whatever. So, and at the same time, you can just click all of them. You can just choose all of them or part of them if you want, and then pick a payment tool, whether that be the cash in your wallet or the crypto in your wallet, whatever you want.
Yeah, because that's a big problem as well, is accessing. Now people have made quite a lot of money off cryptocurrencies or are in that space, and they want to utilize it for everyday purposes or for at least the basic requirements that they have to. So the relationship in this model, from a business standpoint, you've got the user, you've got Treon, the in-between, and then who. So where is this going to, and how difficult was it to set up these agreements with the municipalities or whoever else is involved?
Well, it's composed actually of two sides. There's the on-chain and there's the off-chain part.
Okay.
The off-chain part is something we've been working on for few years now, and we've managed to we have now a product, and we are doing pilot tests with some of the utility providers as we speak. And that's the first part. The second part, which is the on-chain part, is where the whole blockchain technology comes in. Now, it has been a struggle, basically, to convince some of those utility providers, I would say classic providers, where you're talking a very advanced technology for them. But what we're doing is that we are making it simple because we settle with them in fiat. So for them, we're just another payment tool like credit card or PayPal or any of those channels, because once our customers pay to us or pay the utility bills through crypto or fiat, we settle with fiat at this stage with all utility providers. So we take the whole exchange thing on our shoulders. So these guys, the utility providers, they don't have an issue because they're receiving the money like any other fulfillment, like credit cards or whatever. Eventually, in the future, once the currency is stabilized enough and becomes mainstream, then at that point probably we'll start to introduce this as also a settlement tool for them. But that's B2B between us and them. So for the time being, there's no risk for these guys.
So basically, they're just recognizing your company as another credit card or just another form of payment. But that is still a big responsibility on your part. So maybe let's talk about how the system is designed from a technical standpoint and why it's robust and scalable and trustworthy, I guess.
Sure. So we've been working on the whole security part and the whole and another part, which is also artificial intelligence. We'll come to that on the AI. But on the security part, we're deploying a lot of measures, EPP and others, to ensure that we have state-of-the-art solutions and protocols for the security of our customers.
Yes.
And this has been tested currently as we speak with few mobile telecom operators as a secure way of customers popping up and settling their mobile bills as a starter, because this is our entry point to the whole industry. And things have been going very well so far. We've done a lot of testing, and we are partnering also with leading companies, and we're looking at the bleeding edge technology on some of the latest security protocols coming out. And it's an ongoing process, of course, to ensure that we have the latest and greatest to offer to our customers. So that's one part on the security. And we are actually partnering, and we just announced some protocols that we've signed with, like Zeus protocol. We're about to sign with Beyond Limits. We're signing with Red Lambda. So Red Lambda, for example, on the security, Beyond Limits on artificial intelligence. So we are in the process of enhancing and making sure that we have the best solutions and the most secure options for our customers.
Okay, let's talk about the token itself. So what is your token called?
It's the Treon tokens, and the code is TXO.
TXO, okay.
Yeah.
And it's a utility token, so you can just use it. And was that quite a challenging process? Or, I mean, that's all set up now, it's all fully functioning, right?
Yeah, we're currently still in the ICO phase, and this process is ongoing till end of December, where we finish our ICO. There has been some challenges, of course, to first explain to our seed investors, investors coming in, to understand what is the ICO, how it functions, and to understand what is the differentiator, because there's so many wallets out there, there's so many similar solutions out there. So we had to stand out and really explain the differentiation by which what we're bringing to the market. And that was a learning curve. We had to change our approach several times. We did few roadshows, but we're going on more explanatory roadshows to ensure that we differentiate ourselves between what we have versus others, which as we speak now, what we're offering, it's not being offered by any other wallets or any other ICO or any other crypto blockchain technology. Some of them are offering bits and pieces, but nobody's offering what we're working on, what we're trying to achieve, which is a holistic end-to-end scenario. So this is where we are today.
Okay, great. So it's all in the process, but it has been designed to be fully functional, trustworthy, scalable, all that jazz. And then let's just talk about what kind of markets you see this going into and really expanding into.
Okay, so primarily we're focusing on specific two markets, which is primarily Africa and some markets in Asia, and additionally we're talking about also some markets in Latin America. So we're addressing a need where this issue of paying for utility bill is a big issue because it's less of an issue when it comes to more developed markets. So we're starting with those, but we're not restricted to those because we are going global. But in terms of rollout, our approach has been to focus on those specific markets primarily. As we cover them, as we ensure that the solution is robust and sturdy, then we roll out to other markets, and then eventually we go to the more advanced markets.
So as you've said that you want users to be able to actually utilize their cryptocurrencies to pay for their utility bills. In those markets, do you see that happening quite a lot, where there's a lot of activity in the crypto scene, and do you think that's really going to help and be an attractive solution to users?
Yes, because what we've seen so far, the evolution has been as follows. If you look at the whole mobile industry or the payment industry at large, I mean, if you go at 20 or 30 years ago, when credit cards started becoming a mass product, I mean, there was initially some pushback and resistance on people using plastic. Then it became mainstream.
Yes.
Then people went into mobile money, of course, and then that became also mainstream. And we've seen from our own experience in the markets, different markets, how mobile money became as a mainstream, and specifically the less developed markets where the infrastructure, the financial infrastructure is not really there to support. So the adoption rate actually was very, very high. So the evolution and what we're seeing now on the cryptocurrency is exactly the same.
Yes.
So initially cryptocurrency came out as specific use for each currency to be used to serve a specific purpose. We are, again, trying to ensure that this is happening across. So our cryptocurrency can be used to settle for that. Our application allows for exchange between the fiat and crypto, so we give the flexibility. If customers want to pay with just fiat money, we give them that option. If they want to move with crypto because there's still a learning curve, they can do that whenever they please. But again, we see this happening. You know, the two worlds are going to merge eventually. So we're trying to be a cornerstone in this happening.
Do you think it's going to be quite difficult to enter these markets? And what kind of partnerships have you got in place to help it along?
It's a very good question, Rebecca. Thank you for that. It's really, it is definitely challenging because once you talk about blockchain and cryptocurrency, in some markets, it's like a taboo. So there's immediate rejection for the whole concept. And this is why we have the two sides of the wallet. So on those markets where adoption of blockchain is not there yet, or adoption of accepting cryptocurrency is not there yet, our solution supports just fiat money. So people can use the functionality fully through that. So we offer the ease to our customers. Once those markets become, let's say, mature enough in terms of accepting those currencies, then we can just enable it. In other markets, we can just go in from day one with both scenarios. So we're flexible, we cater for both. But again, it's all about the learning curve from different governments and markets. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know. It's a challenge in Africa. Things happen a little bit slowly in some areas, but other markets can be really, really great. And there really is a lot of progression in certain countries in Africa. At least that's where I know. I'm from South Africa, so there is a lot of progression. Okay, so let's talk about the team. Who's all on the team?
So we have a diversified team. Actually, we have a team. Some of the development team is working out of India. Some is based in Estonia, where the company is located. We have some of the commercial team is based out of Dubai. Some are currently in Egypt.
Okay.
So we have a mix of cultures, a mix of backgrounds. We only have we have gurus from the industry where we started. We're still a small team. We're still building ourselves, but we are very cautious in terms of making sure that we are only bringing talented people and people who believe in our solution, in our dream. And of course, we're also making sure that we have the right mix and the right culture foundations, because this is what makes any organization great.
And what do you mean by that, culture foundations? Why is that so important? And what is your foundation, would you say?
So openness, being receptive, being dynamic, clear communication, dynamism, moving quickly. So making sure that we are bringing value in terms of bringing additional, whenever we bring additional
Yes.
resources, their voices are heard. They have an impact in the organization. We change quickly. We modify quickly our value proposition, because the whole technology is moving very quickly, the whole industry is moving quickly, so we have to be a lot faster than how the industry is moving.
And then in closing, so I can now go buy tokens on your website, right? Would you like to direct us through that process?
Sure. If you go to Treon, that's Treon.io, and you go to the website, you find on the top there's a button that says buy tokens. If you click on that, it asks you to register by entering your email and a password. Then, of course, you receive an email to just certify, validate your email. Once you validate to your email, it takes you into the user cabinet. And through that, you have one of two options. You can buy our tokens using either Ethereum or Bitcoin. Currently, our currency sits at 1 Ethereum equal 6,000 Treon tokens, TXOs. And you can use that directly by just copying the address of any of the two wallets we have. And then you just do a transfer, enter your Ethereum wallet address on the second field to ensure that the tokens appear. A few seconds, everything is done. Your tokens are there. Your bonus is there as well, and it's as simple as that.
Simple as that. Okay, so we'll go to Treon.io. I'm going to go get some tokens for myself, be part of your community, which is helping us to pay utility bills in a more easy way, and targeting markets of like Africa, Asia, Latin America. So all markets where they really need this, and we need to cut the cost as much as possible. So thank you so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it, to hear more about your technology.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Okay, thank you, Hesham. We're talking with Hesham, from the CEO of Treon, and you can go check them out. Like I said, it's Treon, Treon.io. I'm Rebecca Hope from Block News, and you are listening to an episode of Meet the Makers. Thank you.